Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII. Hoping you all had a good day today. Some of you will probably have a good night, so on and so forth. It's been a while, what it has been. It's been a while since I last streamed. And there's a lot that I did, a lot of which that I did a video on earlier, which will probably just go ahead and fight these guys for a little bit. You know, grind. And what's so far. But anyway, in terms of like what I've been doing so far, some of you have already saw it from Twitter and stuff. If you haven't seen it, allow me to show you. I have a smartphone now, and Vanille's dying.
Stay sharp.
There we go. All fixed. But yeah, I decided to get myself a smartphone a couple of days ago. So I was like, you know what, me and Delmar have been doing a lot of stuff that would require smartphones, so you know what, might as well go ahead and just break down and finally get one. And I ain't gonna lie, it's grown to me relatively quickly. It's grown to me very quickly. Which isn't to say it's a bad thing, but there is like a lot of stuff that you gotta remember. Like trying to remember data consumption. This is like, whoopsie. I mean, for the record, I did use GPS when we were at Chattanooga this past Wednesday. So it only makes sense that we used a lot of data, but for the most part.
Whoa! This whole place is crystal.
I wonder what it'd be like to become a crystal, I mean.
You gonna complete your focus?
Not like you have a choice.
Maybe. If I knew what it was. Yeah, I probably don't want to know.
Hey, Lightning. Did Sarah say anything to you about her focus?
Nothing.
You know what? She probably didn't want to worry you.
Or she just didn't think she could trust me.
Oh.
But, yeah, during the whole, view of it all, got to really use it during the, Chattanooga trip and stuff. I think one of the biggest things that I like about it, and for the record, it kind of makes sense considering what I used beforehand. Sorry if I'm getting distracted, but what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, one of the nicest things that I like about the phone is the fact that it takes really good pictures as well as record really good videos. I was really impressed by that. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't think it would be that good, you know? And there are a couple of apps that I do plan on using. Like, for example, there's this one that Metal Jesus talked about in one of his videos, involving collecting retro video games and stuff. I do plan to get something like that later on. Not right off the back, considering the one that he suggested. Well, it's not the one, but there's a couple of them. I'll have to look at the other two, because he mentioned like 3 of them, but I think one of them is like paid subscription, but he says is really, really good. And then the other 2 are like free apps, I think. I'll have to look at that video again, so don't quote me on that. But, as far as that goes, aside from that, I also been working on a small little project. And, of course, I talked about in my BlackCross Colette videos, which will be released Monday. But, one of the things that I did with it was that I bought myself another PlayStation 3 system. Now, there's nothing wrong with this one for those that are asking the question. There's nothing wrong with this PlayStation 3. As you can see clearly, it's working just fine. Now, I bought myself a PlayStation 3 system because I've heard people homebrewing PlayStation 3 systems in order to run PlayStation 2 emulators. So that's what my plan is to emulate PlayStation 2 games. Because there's like a whole bunch of PlayStation 2 games that definitely will never be attainable due to price. If I could, I definitely would like to get those games. But the chances of me actually getting them is unlikely. Due to rarity and due to expenses. The most expensive game that I purchased was Bloodwood Tales, so naturally, if I did go any further with purchasing any more PlayStation 2 games, they just keep going up in prices. So, I mean, people say that eventually game prices do have like a little staple price range, but depending on the game collecting and depending on the season in which people start to collect them, depends on how likely if they stand still or if they're going to go up and down. I mean, I don't doubt that PlayStation 2 game prices will go down depending on if people find them and stuff. But the likelihood of that ever happening for me is unlikely. Would I like for them to be lower? Yes. Is that going to happen? Depending on the game, not likely. Which is unfortunate. So what I decided, you know what, I'll definitely give myself a PlayStation 3, and those games that I can't get, I'll emulate them. Just makes sense, you know? Because, I mean, overall, eventually they will go ridiculously high in price, so it just makes sense to emulate them. And the good news is that I have officially got that fixed up and set up and stuff. So now I am running an emulator PlayStation 3 system that can play PlayStation 2 games. Not physically disc-wise, I haven't figured that part out yet. I'll probably have to look at like the different homebrew programs and see what they say. But for the most part, emulation-wise, I've got it all figured out. So that's what I've been doing so far, in terms of like why I haven't been streaming this whole week. It's mostly been getting a new phone, going to Chattanooga and stuff, as well as working on an emulator machine. Now for the record, there is another emulation that I do plan on working on. Probably might do that sometime next week or so, I don't know. Because, I'm sure some of you probably saw the video. If not, go ahead and check that out. I did a video where I basically talked about my custom TV stand. And in that video, I have a Nintendo Wii. That Nintendo Wii, while yes, it will be playing Nintendo Wii games, it will also be playing PlayStation, or not PlayStation, gosh, I'm getting my mind switched around. Nice counter. But other than Wii games, it will also play GameCube games as well. Because there's a couple of... Actually, there's a good handful of GameCube games that I've got that I do plan on playing later on. Pikmin for one, along with a few others as well. But I also plan on emulating Game Boy Advance games. Not all of them, but just some. Just a few to name, like any Pokemon game, or for that matter, a couple of RPG that you can only get for the Game Boy Advance. I think some would probably name a couple of them. But one of the things, and Nerd Thomas have done this with his Wii, is that there's a Pokemon randomizer for Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby. And when I saw that, I thought, that sounds like it'd be fun. That'd be fun to do, you know? Just play a Pokemon randomizer. Been wanting to do that for a while. Just didn't know how to go about doing it. Obviously, the easiest way would be to do it on PC, but I wanted to go ahead and just play it for PC, or no, play it on the console. Ugh. Play it on a big screen. And now people are gonna be like, well, technically you could just put them all on your computer, download emulators and stuff, and hook that computer up to a television. That is true, yes. But I prefer a control setup. And record, yes, I could have it set at a standard PlayStation 2 controller per se, but if you're playing Nintendo games, I believe people say the GameCube is like the best controller to use. I can kind of agree that. Next to the Pro controller for the Wii U, followed by the Nintendo Switch. But either way, that's a future project that I plan to do. It's not going to happen immediately, but sometime in the future I'll probably will play a Pokemon randomizer. I think that'd be fun. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and see how much we can do. We're getting quite a bit of experience points, so I figured check to see how they're doing. Also, too, I've got like a secret plan coming up. It's not going to happen immediately, record, but might eventually. But I do plan on doing, wait for it, I plan on doing a speed run sometime later on.
Hey! It looks like we can get through here.
Yes, I do plan on doing a speed run. I'm not sure when. I think I got an idea of when I want to do it, but as to like officially when, per se? Probably, I mean, part of me wants to wait until the end of summer to do it. Sort of like a end of summer fever playthrough. Even though the way the seasons are, summer isn't going to end when it should end. It's just gonna end whenever it feels like it wants to end.
Stay sharp.
But yeah, I've been thinking about doing a speed run. I mean, technically, if you want to be technical, some people would remember, some people don't. If you remember, congratulations, you are officially a stalker of mine. Nah, I love you all, regardless. But, let's see. Technically, I tried to do like a boss rush playthrough of Bloodborne. Didn't work very well. Got to like the Orphan of Koth and it got hard, as to be expected. I think the Orphan of Koth is like the hardest boss in that game, in terms of personal preference. Every other boss you can probably get through just fine. You will be stuck on a handful of others initially. But in terms of like actually impossible levels of difficult bosses, Orphan of Koth is like the hardest one. But yeah, I do plan on actually doing an actual speed run, and hopefully a successful one. Not gonna break any records except for my own record. But when we get closer to that point, I will talk about it. There we go, we got ourselves an army here. Come to think of it, I just realized something. Ah, that's why. I'll wait until after this battle before I get it set up. Because it's like, it's a little bit darker than it should be. And I don't know why. Okay, this shouldn't take but a second, so bear with me. Damn, this thing's hard to take off. Back you go, you naughty plug. There we go. Don't really want to, but I may have to super glue that little connector. Ever since I did the TV stand, all of a sudden that thing just wants to slide off. Still could use a better lighting for this. I mean, I'm sure all I gotta do is just get like a lamp or something like that, but I don't want a light pointing directly into my eye. That would get annoying. Excuse me.
Why don't we just move around and make things easier?
Huh. We literally could. And of course the enemies That's okay though. This actually makes for a good early level grinding. Once you think about it. Which is good. I mean, the game's not ultra hard. It can be if you just run past everything. So, depending on who you are, you may feel like you could, but the reality is you don't necessarily have to. It's not that hard. Really, I just like fighting everything.
Stay sharp. Just stay out of my way. Stay sharp. Just stay out of my way.
There's a couple enemies on top. Might as well grab them while we still can. Just a couple of Psychoms. Never even saw what hit him. Literally. One of them was literally facing in front of me and he was just like "Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo." One way to get yourself killed. Not paying attention. That's probably a good way to counter that group.
It's making the hairs on my neck stand up.
You gotta stop worrying, Sass.
Ooh, another one.
We outran him.
Fixing to counter a boss.
Stay close.
I want to look around.
Neil.
Yeah.
Over here!
Nice close-up shot. I already killed it. Oh,
It's charging up.
that's just the start of it.
What are you talking about? Charges for what?
Best to kill it now.
Its last moments. Stay sharp. Stay sharp.
He's almost dead, though. Ah, yes. They've been upgraded now.
Check it out.
Come on, hop to it. Let's go.
This'll make things easier.
Uh-huh. Yeah, knowing our luck, it's probably missing an engine.
You shouldn't be so negative.
And you shouldn't get your hopes up.
I know eventually we go back to seeing snow again, but not sure when precisely. Right now, in fact, actually. I knew eventually we'd get back. Snow's still a cool guy. He's not exactly completely intelligent, but he does everything that his heart says, so you can say that much. He's sort of basically Sora in that sense. He's got a lot of heart, not a lot of brains.
Swing kick to base. The C spot. I repeat, the C spot. Pulse the C. Confirmed.
You gonna lend me a hand or what?
Well, they'll give you a lend. Won't be a hand, though, I'm afraid.
Commencing cleanup protocol.
Cleanup. Let me help.
Not exactly bright. Crap. It's gonna take a while, guess, and say you weren't meant to surpass them. There we go. Better watch out.
What's he doing? Watch yourself. Stay alert.
Snow's gonna gain a new power. A little bright, ain't you, girls?
What's happening?
I'm already aware of this. Gotcha. You cannot deny that is awesome. I remember dying to her at least once.
I gotta hand it to you for taking him down. But don't gloat just yet. Might come a time you wish you'd let him end it. And made things easy.
Hey, Fang. Nice to see you again.
More of you, huh?
Easily see. Take him.
Back off.
You want to keep breathing? Shut up and come quiet.
That's probably the only way you're gonna ever get him in. Any other way, he would have resisted.
Bring her this way! Careful now! Come on! Sarah.
Easy.
Sarah! Shut it.
Stand down.
You two. Why are you helping them?
If I were you, I'd worry about myself.
Not all of them.
We got one of them.
They're still behind us! Stop that! Hey! I said stop! You wanna die?
He is a pilot. He's not a fighter, but he's a pilot.
How are you gonna lose them? You got me, kid.
Then let me.
No, thank you. They're still on us?
Did you expect them to stop so easily?
We're taking hits. Come on, give me a break. Hang on. For the love of all that's good. Huh?
Next, an update on the status of the Purge. Just moments ago, the Sanctum announced the successful conclusion of the Purge, along with the safe arrival of the Cocoon migrants to their new homes on Pulse.
Yes, that is correct. There's no denying the enormity of the strain the Purge placed on us all. But given the tens of millions of lives at stake, there truly was no alternative.
Primarch Daisley stood by the move, stressing the necessity of the relocation. When asked about the possibility of future purges, the Primarch remained non-committal, stating only that he would seek counsel with the Fal'Cie Eden and weigh all options before making a decision.
Yeah, that's right. If it makes the Sanctum look bad, it never even happened.
In all the centuries since the War of Transgression, Cocoon has been spared pulse aggression and prospered for it. It is essential that we maintain this peace. That is the Sanctum's focus. We will continue employing every resource available to combat these threats to the harmony of our society.
Meaning, we'll be running for the rest of our lives.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
who is this guy?
I mean, what do they teach kids these days? He's Gallant Daisley, the Sanctum Primarch. Murderer-in-Chief.
According to our Insta
Just
poll,
another
nearly
tool of
90%
the
of Cocoon
Fal'Cie.
citizens agree with the Sanctum's handling of the purge. 70% of respondents said they would also support additional purges were the need to arise.
Let's purge everybody. That'll fix it. Oh, hey.
The bad thing is the Prime Minister, the way he acts followed by the way he looks, given the fact that he has proper hair, if he was given a terrible wig, he'd probably match up the look of almost Donald Trump. Almost.
A Sanctum Fal'Cie up close and personal. Cocoon's own light in the sky. Here we go again.
Fly in. We'll lose him in there.
I like this Fal'Cie.
There's more of them!
Going down. But yeah, you got the fact that Donald Trump basically took every Mexican in the United States and basically pushed them back to the wall. They didn't push them back to Mexico. They basically pushed them back to the wall. Personally, I don't see the main reason. There's like a bunch of people saying that it's for job security. There's some saying it's because of drugs. I don't believe it's either one. I think it's just being quote-unquote white supremacists. But what do I know? I'm just a gamer.
Hey,
Better watch your back, guys.
Hey, wake up! You gotta wake up! Look!
Oh. Hey, slow down.
Ready!
Gotta keep you kids safe, right?
Glad that's over!
They're not that hard.
Man, I'm beat. What? No break?
they're tracking us.
I know that, but we aren't soldiers. We don't have your kind of stamina.
You got enough to complain.
Oh, that's... Forget it!
I think,
I'd stick with her if I were you.
later then.
Come on, let's get going.
Get going to where, exactly? The whole of Cocoon's against us. No matter how far we run, there's no escape. That Seath clock, it's still a ticket.
There's still time. You give up too easy, old man.
I'm not giving up. There's some things that you just can't change. A kid like you would not understand.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I don't understand.
Well, I guess we can be fugitives together. Oh. You ready?
Ready!
Hey.
They're a bunch of cuckoo heads. Oh boy.
End of the road.
But at least it's not the end of the line.
For a second there, I thought that thing was going to come right for us.
The big one's coming.
That's just weird holding it like that. That's just weird. Then again, what's weirder? This or this? I mean, not to say that either one's bad, I'm just saying it's just a weird prey type thing.
You look dreamy, Farron. Wishing on fireworks, were you? And you call yourself a soldier? Ah.
Sorry, Lieutenant. But I really don't think guard duty is my calling, sir.
Well, lucky for you, your shift just ended. Pack it up and go home.
But, sir...
SciComm found something in the vestige nearby. They don't want the Guardian Corps here stepping on their toes. Huh. I'm sure you heard about the accident at the Uriday Gorge energy plant, and how it has the SciComm lads in a tizzy.
Yeah. More incident than accident. Something pulse-related.
You're taking tomorrow off?
Sir, for my birthday, sir. My sister, she insisted on it.
21, huh? Maybe it's a good time to send off that letter of recommendation for officer training.
Lieutenant.
You're past due for a promotion, Farron. Think of your sister and your future, and keep your nose out of trouble.
Out of SciComm business, you mean?
Yeah. Nothing good'll come of it. Nothing but grief. Whoa, look at that one! Whoa, whoa, ho!
How right you were, Lieutenant. Just you?
For now, I guess. Should we wait?
They'll catch up, eventually.
Yeah, it'd be about 3-4 hours later. They've already done the work for us. That's good. Ah, blasted. Oh well. He'll catch up eventually. Ah, we got the new versions. Ouch.
Stay sharp.
I mean, here's the thing about Final Fantasy XIII that I think a lot of people don't give it credit for. I mean, aside from the fact that they complain about the whole hallway thing, which I think is a load of bull crap. But the combat system, I think a lot of people have a problem with, because I know back in the early days of 13's release and stuff, I had a couple friends of mine who had trouble against Odin whenever they first fought it. I didn't have any trouble for the first time. Shiva was the hardest one whenever I first fought it. And that's only because I wasn't aware of the game and stuff, or how to do the shift change thing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and... But, the battle mechanics, I mean, despite the fact that it's not as great, admittedly it's not that great at all, but they try to have it be as strategic as possible. At least try to anyway. It's not always a guarantee, but they try.
Can we get through this way, you think? You know where you're going, right?
I've been here on missions before.
Missions? Nothing to do with the Purge, though.
The Purge is PSICOM's baby. Our military is split into two arms. The Public Security and Intelligence Command, known as PSICOM, and the Guardian Corps. I was Guardian Corps, Bodum Security Regiment.
Wait, but I don't get it. If you're not PSICOM, then why did you board the train?
For Sarah.
Join the end of the line. Attention, Purge deportees. Follow instructions and stay in your lines. Personal belongings will be returned upon arrival. Halt! Do not leave your lines! This is for your own safety! Huh? What's the GC doing here? This op's under PSICOM direction.
So direct me. Let me on. I want to be purged.
Only Siths get purged. Sanctum staff and soldiers are exempt. Huh?
Then I quit.
Line up!
Bet that's something he wasn't expecting.
Excuse me. Hey, lady. What gives?
I volunteered.
Really? You don't look ready to go quiet into that good night.
You want quiet? You better take the next train.
Well, now I really want to see what you're up to.
Curiosity killed the cat, as they say.
I had to rescue Sarah before they transported the vestige to Pulse, and out of my reach. My only chance to save her was to join the Purge.
You're telling me you got on that train so you could save your sister? That's crazy. I could never do something like that.
It's not a question of can or can't. There are some things in life you just do.
Easy for someone like you to say. Lightning! She left me.
Back to these two.
2, 3, we go.
What are you up to? Hey! Wait up! Can't keep up with this girl.
So let's see.
Get tired?
Admittedly, the problem with this particular team is that, what's the word to look for? They have no way of being able to keep the staggered constant. They can build up stagger real quickly, but in terms of building it up or keeping it stagnated, it's, in the word of the wise, short. Which isn't to say that it's a bad combination, but no commando means that the stagger goes down real quickly. And while they've got elements on their side, which helps in terms of battling, it doesn't help keep the staggered on there for long. So in other words, it makes it harder to build it up unless they have a good combo build. And you can clearly see, very rarely do they stay at a constant percentage. Like as soon as you hit a certain point, it goes down just as quickly. And thus that's why commando is usually recommended to have when you have Ravengers. Which is why it's very nice to have opposing enemies. Makes it easier to take them out.
Watch and learn, kid. Leave it to me.
Oh, Sabor, okay. I didn't even realize that, actually. Sabor acts as commando. I never knew that. And here I was just talking about how every single time you have a Ravager, you always have to have a Commando.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I knew that would happen.
Sure you did. But I did not know about Sabador being a staggering, what's the word I'm looking for? Staggering balancer? Staggering constant? Something that prevents it from dying down. A continuous whatever. I don't know what you call it. Either way, I gotta fix something real quickly. That way, it can work. That hurts. That'll help level the playing field. I didn't even know that. Amazing what happens when you replay a game over and over. You learn stuff that you didn't know you could do.
Treats everything from Pulse as evil, doesn't it?
It's almost dead, so that helps.
Not bad. Watch and learn, kid. We got this, Vanille. Watch and learn, kid.
There you are.
This should
Flying debris.
Huh? Piece of cake.
Time to get serious. Didn't even have to ask.
Oh, okay. I figured Lightning was coming back for Hope. But I guess not. I forget a lot of stuff, apparently.
We made it!
Where's Grumpy? Got left behind, huh?
Leave me alone.
Hey,
This is pointless. Can't keep up. Can't get home. It's over for me.
It's not over. We'll get you home.
I don't have one. Now that Mom is.
What about your dad?
Huh.
Not making a wish, Hope?
Mom, you still believe in that kind of stuff? Wishing on fireworks? Really? That's for little kids.
What are you calling kid?
To you? What'd you wish for?
Oh, that next year, your father could come with us.
Why? It's better like this. We don't need him. That night, they found the fal'Cie in the boat of Vestige. The next day, Soldiers sealed off the town, and we couldn't get back to Palom Polum. They forced us onto the train with everyone else. My mom, she was frantic. She wanted to get us home, so she tried to fight. She got tricked by Snow. He used her!
Let's get you home, okay? Your dad's gotta be worried.
Let him worry. Why should I care? He doesn't.
Any father cares.
Sass?
It's nothing. Forget it.
Come with me, okay?
This ought to do it. We've got time. We'll get you back home. Your dad will be happy to see you.
Now we'll actually be able to do some actual damage. 3 Ravengers.
Changing gears. Thanks. Ha!
Yes!
And here we go. Go ahead and save here. I think that's enough Final Fantasy XIII streaming for the night, so anyone who decided to pop in to watch a little bit, thank you for popping in as usual. And for those watching on YouTube, be sure to watch out for more Final Fantasy XIII. Hopefully I'll be back to a normal streaming schedule like I usually do, but until then, I'll see you in the next one. This is BlackCross signing off. Night, everybody.